We're about to go live in just a few moments, but before we lift off, there's a few important things we want to make sure that you're aware of so you get the best possible experience out of this. First of all, the sound current is supremely important to us, the musical experience. So if possible, we really encourage you to use good speakers or headphones to experience the class with. Second, if you have any pre-existing injuries, please take care of yourself, modify as you need to. Don't risk exacerbating an injury because of a yoga exercise. If you have any pre-existing medical conditions and you're not quite sure if this would be good for you, please consult with your primary healthcare practitioner and make sure it's the right thing for you. Also, make yourself relatively comfortable. You can use a cushion, and in fact, we encourage you in our seated positions, meditation practices, to use a cushion. It helps lift the heart up, keep the spine straight, and it's more ideal for the flow of energy in the body and for the meditation experience. You can even be sitting in a chair with feet flat on the floor for those of you that are unable to sit in a meditative sitting posture on the floor. Just use a chair, and for many of the exercises that will work perfectly fine. And then lastly, if you're having any problems with the video streaming, try refreshing the page, or if you see a gear icon on the video, adjust your resolution. If you're new to this type of thing, just take care of yourself. If there's something that you don't quite understand, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Everything that needs to click will click after a few times of trying it out. Enjoy the experience. We're about to get started in just a moment.
Namo Gurudev Namo Om Namo Gurudev Namo Om Greetings and welcome, and thanks so much for being here, and happy full moon. I'm Jai Dave. We're here at Life Force Academy home headquarters in Northern California. I'm with my friend Nima here. We're happy to be here with you for the full moon and to make magic and to kind of tap into that. What we mean by magic is not some supernatural thing, but it's being able to drop into more of your subtle energies and to be able to work with life and work with the mind so that we can shape our life into something that's more desirable. All of us want that. We all want to shape our lives into something more desirable, but often we find that impossible to do. And we're just kind of overwhelmed by the circumstances of our life, and it gets really hard and really difficult. What's the most fantastic thing to me about mantra, and if you go really to all the yogic traditions, really around the world, and you go into the nucleus of them in terms of the practice, what you're going to find there is mantra practice. My opinion, in a lot of the kind of modern ways that we practice yoga, at least in the West, I think mantra is being way undervalued. Mantra is kind of the best thing in terms of the real potency of yoga practice, of meditation practice, and its ability to transform the mind from miserable states into joyful states. But it's hard work. Make no mistake about it. It's not hard work because the practices are so hard to do. It's hard work because it's very hard to be consistent with mantra practice. Because mantra practice, when really using it well on a regular basis in life, it's not just happening when you're sitting doing your practice. It's happening when you're in line at the post office. It's happening when you're driving in the car. People think, oh, if I'm chanting mantras all the time, I'm going to lose my creativity, or it's going to be boring, or I'm not going to... It's quite the opposite. What we start to learn when we start using mantras more regularly is it makes it very clear to our awareness that our so much energy is being used up by the mind's constant wanderings. And so then if you kind of harness all that energy that's being kind of inefficiently utilized, the mind has energy, the mind has a beam. And if the beam is scattered because of this worrying, or just all of the things that grab a hold of our mind, especially now in our extremely connected world, highly connected world, where we're being exposed via the Ethernet, that which is connected in the entire globe together into one living community. We've always been one living community, but now we can communicate with each other. So we're living in totally unprecedented times as far as our understanding of history goes. And it's going to be a ride the next several years. Immediately, as this massive wave of AI is coming in, it's going to totally change it already is changing all our lives. It's going to be totally profound, I'm sure of it. But I think this is not some horrible thing. There's totally possibilities for quantum leaps of consciousness and awareness. But that would be difficult, Life is difficult, though. So it's not that yoga doesn't make life more difficult. Yoga practice makes life more blissful, more joyful. But it does mean that I have to be willing to do things that are difficult in order to transform my mind. It's the type of difficult that leaves me blissful. It's the type of difficult that leaves me stronger. It's the type of difficult that makes me happier. And then life becomes, therefore, easier. And so it's a beautiful way to work with the mind's beam, is to use a mantra to, if there's anxiety there, it can transform anxiety. Anxiety is powerful energy, and if you can get it into its desirable form, it's magical. But when anxiety is in its, what it really we would say is its air ether element, they call it wind. And when the mind is disturbed by excess wind and it's blowing things everywhere this way, it's so scary and it's hard to live. And our nervous systems feel depleted. And yet you can take that and you can transform it. Instead of it being this horrible thing, you recognize its potentiality, its potential energies, the basic physics of things. Energy can't be created nor destroyed, but it can be transformed. And so mantra is the magical kind of catalyst to transform energies like that. Heaviness, depression, earth water becomes muddy. Excess earth water, lighten that thing up. Becomes sweetness, becomes love, becomes devotion. Wind becomes like the ability to pray, not to pray in some religious way, but like from your heart into the great heart. We're already doing that with anxiousness, but it's projectivity of unfortunate circumstances into your future, and the mind gets habituated into that, and we become anxious persons. It's very understandable. There's plenty to be anxious of. So it's not like, oh, I'm so bad, I'm not good at this. No, we're a human being with sensitive, tender nervous systems, skins, hearts, mind. But there's a way to bring great vitality to the human organisms so that sensitivity and tenderness becomes like a superpower. That's what yoga practice is about. That's what we're going to do today. We're going to do this amazing, my favorite mantra meditation I'm going to share with you today on this special full moon. With the moon in Ashlesha Nakshatra, the end of Cancer, the beginning of Leo. It's called Gandanta, very edgy full moon, very kind of sharp and even poisonous. But see, poisonous in its undesirable form is toxicity. Poisonous from the context of the yogis, poisonous in its desirable form becomes alchemy. You're taking poison and you're turning it into nectar. And that's what we do with our difficult emotions. When our difficult emotions, like jealousy or passive aggressiveness or anxiousness, whatever they may be, the hot ones are fire elements. The mobile ones are air elements. The heavy ones are earth, water elements. And so what we do is we use the mantra, in this case, Satnam, 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 Satnam. It's the Satanama, the Pancha Shabad, the sounds that harmonize the 5 great elements, earth, water, fire, air, space. So instead of letting the mind just do whatever it wishes to do, we give it a mantra to hold on to. And when we give it a mantra to hold on to, we allow any of the feelings to come up. We allow any of the emotions to come up, but we're not indulging the narratives they provoke. We're not indulging their stories. Instead, we're going to enjoy our breath, enjoy our body. So we're going to do a series of exercises right now. So come sitting. You can do most of these in a chair, but if you can, come down sitting with a little pillow. Sit on the edge of it or a folded up blanket to make sure you're right on your sit bones, please. Because we're going to do a series of these fantastic Kundalini yoga exercises to open the chi, to open the channels in the body, to give your what they call in martial arts the dantian, your navel power, to open that energy up from down here, get it circulating. Then we're going to be using the mantra and linking it with our breath, so chanting internally. You can think of it chanting without moving your lips. Nam Sat, Nam Sat, Nam Sat, Nam Sat, Nam. Chant that with me for a moment. Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam. And when you chant it, Nam, the tip of the tongue strikes your upper palate on the Sat, Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam. And when you say Nam, the lips vibrate. Nam, Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam, Sat, Nam. Now keep chanting, but close the mouth. Mentally chant. I'll chant out loud. You mentally chant. Sat, Nam, 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 Sat, Nam. Inhale. That's the idea. Exhale. Fundamentals. Come with your hands at your ankles or shins. It's a simple spot, easy, smooth spinal flexes like this. Now, through the nose, you breathe like. Lifting the chest. Nice and smooth, but the breath is now with the sound of the breath, chant the mantra mentally. Nam Sat, Nam Sat. On the inhale, Sat. On the exhale, Nam Sat, Nam Sat, Nam Sat, Nam Sat. Deeper the breathing, if you would. Inhale. Suspend the breath. Close your eyes. Now just listening. Exhale. Take your hands up to your shoulders. Yeah? Heart lifted, shoulder blades release. Sit bones connected. Then you just let it swing. Inhaling left, exhaling right. Sat, nam, sat, nam. Just let it swing. Opening the central channel. Deeper the breath. Let it swing. Sit. Sit. Seconds, stay with it. Chant the mantra mentally on the breath. Into the center, inhale. Soften the chest, hold the posture. Eyes closed, listening. Exhale. Hands to your knees. And it's just like this. Just let the shoulders bounce. So it's like this. Inhale, up, exhale, release. They just kind of bounce up. Make a great rhythm through your nose, and in your mind chant the mantra. Sat nam, sat nam, sat nam, sat nam, sat. Inhale, squeeze up the shoulders. Exhale, release. Again. Softening the upper back. We're opening the central channel so the prana can flow, so the vitality gets tapped. Squeeze up the shoulders. Exhale, release. Yes, now stretch your legs open wide like a V shape. Inhale, center. Flex your feet. Exhale, down. Inhaling, lift. Exhaling, fold. No need to feel like you're going to touch your toes. Fold from the navel point. With every inhale, fill your lungs. Vibrate the mantra. On your inhale, vibrate Sat. On the exhale, vibrate Nam. Sat. Nam. Keep going. Find your own rhythm. Feel your own body. Opening. Deepening. Breathing. Vibrating. The sound of power, mantra. And then we don't always have to be analyzing our situation and always endlessly investigating our situation. Letting things be, but letting them to transform into the way that they wish to transform anyways, which is in the direction of more and more happiness. Already that's built into us. So if we can just let the mind be, and less judging our situation, less inner criticism, but yet we still want to change. We want life to improve. So we can employ a mantra for our mind's energy. And then we feel a sense of loving compassion for our bodies and for our situations. We notice the ways in which we're suffering, and we notice the ways in which we want to really feel good. And the mantra can go on both sides of that coin. When suffering is there, the mantra will take you into the bliss of compassion. When the pleasures are there, the mantra will take you into the bliss of joy. But always, there's an inner bliss. To the center, inhale deep. And then fold center, exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhaling, fold. Sit. Down. Sit. Down. Sit. Feet stay flexed, groin relaxed, breath very deep. Inhale up. That's amazing. Relax, shake your legs out. Great job. Have a little bit of water. Just a couple more of these exercises. Okay? So what you're gonna do first, take your index finger to your thumb, and then your palms facing up on your legs. That's Gyan Mudra, wisdom seal. Then the tongue comes out, and it becomes like a panting breath, stimulates immune strength. So every exhale, lift of the diaphragm, but don't forget the inhale part. Try to relax the tongue, yet make the tongue come out. With every exhale, lift the diaphragm, close the eyes down. Satnam, Sat. Now put the mantra onto it. Satnam, Sat, Satnam, 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 Satnam. The vibratory quantum field, the field of oneness, the field of energy and love, intelligence that is the very substratum of life, of creation. Ik Onkar. Satnam. Earth, water, fire, air, space, building blocks. 15 seconds. Through the nose, inhale. Lift through your pelvic floor, rectum, sex organ, navel, up and in. Soften the chest. Now press the underside of your tongue against the roof of the mouth and press it. Through the nose, exhale. 2 more of those. Inhale deeply through the nose. Lift the pelvic floor, navel, up and in. Under tongue, roof of the mouth, press. Press it. Exhale. And one more time. And lift the pelvic floor, navel. Now squeeze your spine muscles. And under tongue, upper palate, press. Exhale. Just let the breath flow naturally for a moment. Let everything be relaxed, yet stay nice and tall in your meditative posture. Eyes closed, breath flows meditatively, listening. In this listening space, please come onto your backs. Come onto your backs with your feet on the floor and your arms by your side, palms facing down. And open your toes up and spread them and press them back down. Open the fingers up, spread them and press them back down. Feel the surface of from your tailbone up to the head of the body making contact with the earth. And then, as you inhale through your nose, press your feet into the floor and lift the pelvis up into a bridge pose. And then slowly exhaling back down. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling back down. Beautiful. Keep going. Every lift, press the feet into the floor. Every inhale, vibrate Sat. Every exhale, vibrate Nam. Deep opening. Create a vibe, create a vibration with your breath, with your mind, with your body, with your presence, with your energy. It's the revitalization of the human vehicle, the human instrument. Field of creativity, to be in the field of love and compassion and joy and inspiration, meaningfulness, what is good, what is real, what is true. That's what the human instrument can do. And you're the experiencer of what is real, what is good, what is true, what is you, what your life is all about. Starting to shape the reality. Breathe. Inhale to the up position, and again the tongue comes out in the posture and go again. Deep and rhythmic. The diaphragm, every exhale works the thyroid, parathyroid, thymus gland, center of your chest. Try to lift the pelvic up a little bit. pelvis a little up towards the sky. And very slowly exhale down. Relax all the way down for a moment. Like the knees to the chest. Ek Onkar. Ek is one. Onkar is the vibrational field of creativity, the one vibration, the universal sound, the universal tone, the quantum field, the field of connectivity. Rock and roll on your spine. The field that connects all living beings across really all times and spaces. That's why, come on up to easy pose. That's why we are connected to our ancestry. We are also connected to those who will come after us, children and children's children and children's children's children, and on in both directions. It goes infinitely. Yeah, so it's the zero gravity, infinite field of infinity. This is not some new agey, whatever people say, woo-woo and all this. This is depth, it's substance, it's thousands of years old. It's been passed on from teachers to students and practitioners, through families, family lineages, all through the East. So many of these great wisdom teachings, they travel through families. And sometimes they're blood families, sometimes they're more like tribal families or spiritual families. But what we all are is we're living creatures who have the capacity for great wisdom, have the capacity for great happiness and great creativity. And each of us have a brilliance. Each of us have a genius that we can make come alive. That's what Kundalini Yoga is all about, you know. It's about the blossoming of the human spirit, not whatever else. That's really what it's about. It's for you and you. You know, there's no middle intermediary necessary. Tools, technologies, practices to tune the instrument. Live the life you would like to live. I'm taking rules from somebody, you know, not being, you know, hypnotized into need to do this, need to do that. You become the master of your domain. Yes, we have teachers that help us along with friends, loved ones. We need it. We need advice. I need every help I can get, is my experience. Thank you. Somebody has something that's helpful, that shows me a little bit. Thank you. You know, somebody give me a hug. Thank you. We all need each other. You know, we're social animals. We need each other. And yet at the end of the day, this is our life. We travel alone, you know. We come through the birth canal alone. We'll go through the death canal alone. And yet we'll find ourselves, I'm very much convinced, with all of life. Ik Onkar Satnam Siddhi Waheguru is the mantra. Ik Onkar, one vibration, Satnam. Nam is like name, Sat, its name is like, the English, to try to translate these things into English never does it justice, because these are languages of great concept, of great cultural context. Satnam, its name is truth, reality. Siddhi Waheguru, great wow, awe. It's awesome beyond any even ability to conceive of it. By its very nature, it's non-conceptual, because it transcends duality. It transcends negatives and positives, goods and bads, females and male, war and peace. It's something indescribable, yet we all know it very much. It's what gives it life its sublime nature. When a child is born, if you get the pleasure to be in the room, you know, it's sublime. When a loved one passes away, the heart breaks, it's sublime. In both sides, you know, as love is always ever present. That's the field of the quantum field, Ek Onkar. One reality. It's not just, it's a love, you know, it's a force. It's tremendous. It creates tornadoes and hurricanes, but it creates like a rainbow over an ocean as well. It's all of it. And so that's tapping into that field on a regular basis is how we revitalize ourselves, how you give your body vitality, how you give your mind vitality. Vitality for the body is stamina, is good health. Vitality for the mind is content, happiness, being tapped into creativity. Vitality of the spirit is love. And so these are the three vitalities we're always working with. Okay, one more exercise, then we're going to do our meditation. And we're going to really kind of take our energy and kind of beam it in the direction of our desire. Okay? So, beautiful friends, your hands will be firm. Your arms will come out to 60 degrees. Palms facing up. No bend, if possible, no bend in the elbow or the wrists. Shoulder blades release, sit bones connected to the ground. Inhale through your nose first. Exhale through the nose. Then you're gonna inhale through the nose, make an O shape of your mouth, go. O-shaped puckered mouth. Make that breath pass across your lips. The inhale is just as significant as the exhale, but on the exhale, the diaphragm lifts. The fingers firm, the shoulders drop, the chest is soft, the mind soft. Best that we can. Satnam, 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 satnam. Through the fingertips, reach out through your fingertips. Eyes closed, third eye gaze. Satnam, satnam, satnam. Fingers firm, soften the chest, shoulder blades released. Hold the posture through the mouth like a cannon. Exhale. Inhale deeply. Pelvic floor up and in, navel in, fingers tight. Extend through your fingertips. Soften the chest. Like a cannon. Exhale. Last time, inhale deepest. Lift the pelvic floor, draw the navel in, third eye gaze. Fingers tight like steel. Exhale. Slowly relax into meditative state. When you transform the inner world, then the outer world transforms as well. The rattling of the air conditioning may have previously felt like a distraction. All of a sudden it sounds like part of the music, you know. It's part of the bliss sound of life, and even the sirens on the street, screaming of the child, whatever it may be. Something that in one moment can cause total irritation, in another moment becomes an experience of some sort of inner realness, harmony. Life is as it is, and in that space it's blissful. And yet sometimes, take a deep inhale, exhale. It's hard to keep track of that. You know, mantra practice is hard. It's not hard to understand it. It's hard to consistently do it because the mind's habits are so powerfully doing other things. And so with time, though, with a little bit of time, what ends up happening is you start to experience the pleasures of having a mantra hanging around in your psyche. And it becomes blissful, and then there's less of this kind of resistance. There's more of this draw to kind of always wanting to get back to it a little bit. And that's nice. But then it's also easy to kind of lose track of that. That's why we have a practice. And so, and that's why, to me, our newest course that I taught and have created is called Mantra, the Sacred Art and Science. And I had an experience when I was 18 years old with a mantra practice, just being introduced to mantra practice. And it changed my life. I had just discovered yoga, meditation, living in the southeast of the U.S. I was at the library at Middle Tennessee State University outside of Nashville. I was looking for anything I could. At those times, this is kind of internet's just coming online. You know, you can't find things. You go to the library, pull out a book. Remember that? It's so nice. And you discover something. And this was called the Mantram Handbook, and I read it, and it totally changed my life. And then right around that time, started the discovery through Kundalini Yoga. And my whole life has been benefiting from the practice of mantra, and I really hold it and consider it the most sacred thing. And not sacred in like, oh, it's just like holier than that. It's just the most valuable, you know. It's the thing that keeps you connected, you know. That's sacred because it's the lifeline. It's sacred because it's refuge from the storm of life. It takes you across stormy paths. When you're in the bliss, when you're in the great pleasures of life, it keeps you in your center so you can actually really enjoy and not get swept up with grasping and attachment, which is so easy to do. And so yet mantra is also purifying the subconscious mind in order to do all of that, and that's the difficult part. So naturally, when you start working with things, there is a field of resistance that is generated. So that's why it always has to be baby steps, and why we do it is like, okay, this week, you take that on. But the most potent thing is to take on a personal mantra for yourself. And then what we do, and what I recommend, and the meditation that we're about to experience, is you use a potent mantra practice in order to develop the Shakti, in order to develop the inner power. Mantra Shakti, mantra yoga. And this is called the Adi Shakti mantra. And it's Ik Onkar, Satanam, Siddhi, Wahi, Guru. It's easy to chant. After a few repetitions, you'll see it's a science to it, there's an art to it, vibrates all of the chakras, takes you into that kind of deep, meditative, intuitive space where then you can work your magic. And so if you first, by beginning a practice, kind of setting the motivation for what would we like in order for our lives to blossom, what is it that is in our heart's wishes, and you kind of drop into that. Then you just let that go, because who knows how things are going to work out. We all know if we live long enough, certain things go the way we wish they were going to go, and other things not so much. But instead of kind of being swung by that roller coaster ride, one can get into a deeper trust energy, where you can trust that life has your back ultimately, even though it might be hard. That's something that one has to test for themselves if they're not already in that space. Sometimes one has to kind of step out on a limb and see if it feels okay, see if it feels safe enough. Then with a little experience, you start to trust it a little more. A little more experience, you start to trust it a little more, and all of a sudden you have found that you're in the great blissful current of your life's dharma that way. And so, because that's what's always happening anyway and wanting to happen, so it's creating conditions to allow prosperity to flow. And so this mantra is my favorite. This meditation with this mantra is my very favorite. I've been using it pretty much all my adult life, and always come back around to it. And in the Life Force Academy mantra training, it's the core practice that we use. Yes, everybody wants to learn the mantras for prosperity. Everybody wants to learn the mantras for healing. Everybody wants to learn the mantras for all the different things that we need in our life, for all the different domains in our life. And we have those mantras, and we use them, and we learn them. But first, if you develop this, if you develop the mantra Shakti, if you develop and concentrate the beam of your mind, all those things are going to be so much more effective. Anything you do in the Life Force Academy practice is so much more effective if you get this mantra thing underneath you in a really great way. And so that's what for the last year I've been most inspired to be helping people through, and getting myself also even deeper into that, because it's never ending. I'm always endeavoring to be the best student in the room. And I felt like I kind of was for this mantra course. It's reminding. Yes, it's the very best thing. It's the thing you can kind of depend on more than anything, because it doesn't require even your body. It doesn't even require your body. And so this mantra, I think you'll love. Many of you know it. Some of you have practiced it a lot. It never gets old. It's easy to chant. It's a 2.5 breath cycle for this practice. So you take an inhalation, and we'll chant the mantra Ik Ong Kar. So Ik is like Ik Ong Kar. Kar. Yeah? Ik Ong Kar. Ik comes from the navel down here. Ik Ong. Ong vibrates your frontal lobe, your skull bone, but it's all you'll learn if you want to work in the training, you'll really learn how do you project a sound. How do you project a sound? How do you use the lower part of the body, create a resonation chamber and vibrate it, and then beam the mind through it. That's the potency, what they call the thunderbolt of the sound current. So you go, take an inhale. Ik, Again, let's do it. Ik, So that's the first breath. The second breath, Sut Nam. Sut from down here, resonation chamber. Nam vibrates the heart, the chest. Nam. Inhale. Sut Nam. Sut Nam. Sut Nam. Okay, let's do the first two parts. Inhale. Ik Sut Nam. And then with the last bit of that second breath, you say the mantra Siddhi. Siddhi. They usually write it S-I-R-I, but it's Siddhi with a roll like a soft D. Siddhi, Siddhi, Siddhi. So then you take a half breath in, and it goes Wa, and the Wa is like Wa. Try Wa, has air in it. Water and air. Wa, Wa, Wa. Hey Guru, Hey Guru. Wa, it's like water. Hey, it's like fire. Guru is like light. Guru. Wa? Hey Guru. When you say Guru, it's not Guru, it's Guru. Guru. The rolled soft D. Guru. 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 When you say Guru, Guru, lips vibrate. Lips don't touch, but they vibrate between them. Wa? Hey Guru. Wa? Hey Guru. Wa? Hey Guru. All of it together. Inhale deep. Ek. Satnam Siddhi. Wa Hi Guru. So it's a 2.5 breath cycle. First inhale, Ik Onkar. Second inhale, Satnam Siddhi. Half inhale, Wa Hi Guru. Unamas. Ik Onkar. Satnam Siddhi. Wa Hi Guru. Yes, beautiful. So we're going to do this for several minutes. Maybe a little longer than your mind wants to, but that's the good part. When you get to that point where the mind kind of hits a field of resistance, but you keep chanting, eventually it's going to open up. And eventually it's not, all of the intellectual parts of these could become insignificant, and you're in it. You're just in it. And that revitalization is the best. It's like drinking from, a tank of nectar. It's the best. It's blissful. Revitalization of the mind, heart, body, organs. And so that's the power of all of this stuff. So we're going to chant this Adi Shakti mantra. Adi Shakti, primal power. We think often in the West power, we think masculine, but Shakti power is the context. It's the feminine power. It's creativity, of opening, of blossoming. It's the most powerful thing. So, we're going to chant it. Your hands are in the wisdom seal, index finger to thumb on the legs or knees, palms facing up. Your shoulders are dropped. Your heart is lifted. And it's going to go on. And allow the mind, you can allow any of the mind's thoughts, they come up, just treat them like clouds passing. Maybe they're storm clouds, they're staying longer than you wish, but just allow them to keep passing and keep going back to the mantra, and use the sound current to vibrate your body, vibrate the brain, vibrate the mind, vibrate the tissue layers with your sound current, and instead of indulging all of the narratives, and just keep going back to listening to the mantra, vibrating the sound, and staying the course. After a handful of minutes, it's going to be over. And then watch the space that you will reside in at the very end when we take the final exhale, and enjoy that space. Don't move on right to the next thing when it's over because you're so glad it's over. Enjoy the space for just a few moments. I'll guide you through it all, okay? All right, here we go. See you on the other side. We're going to use this. First listening, take the posture. Siddhi. Wa Hi Guru. And inhale. Ek Om City. What? Ek City. Ek City. Ek City. Ek City. Ek Om perfectly still.
City. What?
Inhale deeply. Exhale. Inhale deeply. Suspend the breath and give a good wish for yourself, for your life. Exhale. And now raise the arms up and just shake your arms out a little bit. Shake the spine out a little bit. And relax. So it's a beautiful, beautiful practice. And even one time, as you can feel, tuning the instrument. But then if you can do it on a more regular, consistent basis, that's when the real magic work starts to happen. And nothing is like doing this stuff with some level of consistency. That's what a sadhana is called, and that's the heart of yoga practice. Is sadhana, doing something on a either regular or semi-regular basis, a practice that has rhythm. So it's not every so often, every once in a blue moon, maybe, perhaps, but it's something that does have some discipline underneath it, so that you can actually generate the power that's necessary to get into the space and place in life that we wish to get into. Harnessing one's energy, not allowing the circumstances of the world to overcome our inner state, and to where we lose our happiness, lose our joy, lose our sense of creativity, lose our sense of purpose, and have to rely too heavily on outer stimulants in order to maintain inner vitality and inner contentment. So it's beautiful, and then it goes from there. It gets very mystical, very blissful, if you want to do it, So I want to invite you to our mantra training. It's a home course called the Mantra, the Sacred Art and Science. And it, as its core practice, it does use this meditation, certain exercises we do, and then this meditation, a 22-minute practice of this meditation, either for those who are really going for it once a day, or for the duration of taking the course, which is, depending on how quick you go through it, could be like 4 to 8 weeks. You can move faster if you want, you can go slower, but a little bit, not too fast, is good, because this is the type of stuff that needs time to kind of drip in and to develop and to open. And so we've been creating these home courses in Life Force Academy for over a decade. I think we do them really well, and they're beautiful experiences. And for this full moon, we've put this mantra, the Sacred Art and Science, on a really good sale. We dropped the price way down to inspire you to jump in, as we have a new group of students all around the world who are going to be starting this mantra course in the coming days. And you can do it on your own time. You have lifetime access when you get it. You don't have to start now, but it's highly encouraged, because now's the time, isn't it? Always. And if you're feeling the wave of inspiration, get on your board and ride it, because those waves don't always come. And so this is, to me, a totally potent, transformative course, but it's so practical. And then the first part of it, it's going to ask you, the first part is to take on a personal mantra that you will choose for yourself. Maybe you already have mantras that you practice. This course is totally flexible with that, but you're going to be using the Kundalini Yoga practices, Kundalini Yoga mantras, to build up that mantra Shakti. Then for your personal mantra, it's going to receive all of the kind of benefits, the dividends of that, definitely. And so you can check out everything you want to know about it here on this page. And if you have any other questions, our team can certainly help. But If you get in now for the full moon, it's an excellent deal. I think you'll be very happy. There's a payment plan if that makes it easier for you. You get immediate access to the whole thing. We guarantee our courses, 60-day guarantee. If you get it and for any reason decide, nah, this isn't for me, just let our team know. Shoot us an email. They'll send you a refund within that window. So I want to personally invite you to be a part of it. I'm going through it too. I just watched the first module yesterday, and I'm reminding myself, this is our newest course. It was just created. And I was like, this is good. This is going to help. This does help. And sometimes it's like, it's not learning new things as much just remembering and getting into that inner state and remembering how to be happy, remembering how to be creative, remembering how to be blissful. And the mantras are these great kind of words and sounds, vibrations that do transform the mind into its more desirable, heightened, happy expressions. Bliss isn't something that's fluffy. Bliss is that thing that contains both sorrows and joys. And so we need that because we're going to have both. We are going to have both. And life is wild. And so to have something that you can kind of anchor into that keeps you good no matter what, it's worth it. It's worth it. So I want to invite you to this mantra course. It's designed to be taken one module per week. If you don't want to do the practice every day, then just do the practice on the day when you do the module. And you'll have a nice, strong couple-hour practice once per week. That would be good. But if you can get in a practice on the other days, or hopefully if you in the Life Force Academy member portal, that's just $1 if you can't do the full course. And that, we're teaching live classes every week. We have library yoga classes, library practices, library of this beautiful music. You get in the mantra course, you're going to learn also how to chant from Simrit, who you were hearing her sing all through the first part of this class, and many of you know Simrit. Yeah, she's exceptional with chanting mantra and her ability to kind of transmit it to others to be able to vibrate their sound in an amazing way. And so it's a great course, and I want to invite you to jump in if you feel like it. It's easy to register. It just takes a moment. You have lifetime access. You can download it so you can listen like in your car to the modules. If you can't always just don't want to sit in front of a screen, you can go take a hike and listen to the modules, but you want to do the practice with it, And so it's a good course. Mantra, the Sacred Art and Science. I want to invite you, while it's a really good deal, while we have this new group coming through, please join us. And in either way, I hope today was fun for you. I hope you found it helpful and valuable. And we'll chant the Satanam mantra. We'll vibrate it long to seal our time together. And thank you so much, everybody. Happy full moon. Take your hands into the prayer neutral mudra. Thanks so much, everyone. Have the most beautiful day. Wishing you all the best. And see you soon. Mantra course, let's go. Sat Nam, everyone.